So apparently someone's created the Family Guy house in The Sims 4. I want to see if it's legit. I've seen nearly every episode of Family Guy. I want to see if this guy has everything right. So let's get right into this video. Let's go.
What is up, YouTube, and welcome to this video. So today we're going to be taking a look at a speed build that I did quite a while ago for a house that's based off of the house used in the TV show Family Guy. If any of you have ever watched that show before, you'd probably know that it's, a cartoon, and they can kind of do whatever they want as far as like spacing goes and rooms go and where things are and where things aren't, which when you're trying to like make a house like that in a video game like The Sims, it kind of becomes sort of challenging because you can't really control the freedoms they use in that. You have to be a little bit more realistic with how you actually plan things. So this build is pretty faithful to what you see on TV.
Guys, quick side note, when I play The Sims, I am the worst at building like the roofs. I don't know what it is about the roofs and roofing, but I just can't seem to get it. Like in my houses, they always come out weird because I just either just build it all wrong and the roof doesn't fit, and then I just basically just scrap it. I usually use auto roofing, but I'm just horrible at roofs. I just wanted to throw that out there.
When you're trying to like make a house like that in a video game like The Sims, it kind of becomes sort of challenging because you can't really control the freedoms they use in that. You have to be a little bit more realistic with how you actually plan things. So this build is pretty faithful to what you see on TV. I did take a couple liberties here and there to kind of make things work. One of the biggest things that I wanted to do when building this was make sure that like the house itself from the exterior looked pretty similar to what's on the show. I didn't want it to be too big or like look like a massive mansion when it's supposed to be like a more, family style home.
I don't know about you, but I would go for a Family Guy mega mansion speed build. Like that sounds fire. Like have the same, like Family Guy house, but just have it like a big mansion. Like that sounds fire. I don't know about y'all.
Roofing and building kind of like the outside of it to make it look and have like that Cape Cod style, New England style exterior. Right now we're putting in the garage and whatnot. This style of house, it's like pretty easy to do. It's just like a lot of roofing work, trying to make sure that you're not, having a lot of clipping issues or anything going on. So when you're actually playing in it, it's not going to look weird or out of place. And this part right here was supposed to be a little sunroom, and I just threw a bunch of windows in there and a door that kind of fit. We don't really quite have sunrooms in The Sims, so that's as close as you can get.
I'm starting to see the vision.
Again, trying to make it look.
Let me know, guys. Do you see the vision? I'm starting to see the vision a little bit. It's looking a little off. I want to see what he's gonna do to the front, but I'm starting to see the vision just a little bit.
Close to the show as possible. So like they have like a green roof, and I tried putting a green trim to sort of match the shingles, even though it's not quite the same color. And that little part over the door is supposed to be yellow. So I just put kind of like a light beige trim on there to sort of mimic that. And their house is on a little bit of a foundation. So I just...
Wait a minute, where's the basement? There's a basement in the Family Guy house. See, he already made a fatal mistake. You gotta have the basement. You gotta, come on now. Season 1, there was a basement. Literally every season, guys. Come on now.
Should be able to walk up that spot. There's no need for a staircase on there. And here's where it gets interesting because, again, on the TV show, the house on the inside is actually pretty large, and it doesn't take into account like spacing and whatnot. So trying to build that in the game was a little more challenging. And again, from the exterior, I tried making it look as similar to the TV show as possible, but once I got in here, I realized that like there wasn't going to be enough room for the spacing that I had at the time. So we're just kind of expanding the home a little bit. But the nice thing about having the dormers on this house is that it helps like add some extra space, especially that massive one we put in the back. And we do eventually end up fitting, I believe, 4 bedrooms. One's a toddler room, and I want to say there's 2 or 3 bathrooms in here. So it's a decently sized house. And in some episodes, they also have a basement, so I made sure to include one of those as well. And right here, we're just working through the floor plan.
See, that's what I'm talking about. See, he knows. You gotta include that basement, baby.
Be as like true to the TV show as possible. I do include all the family members' rooms, which is nice, but they're definitely not as big as they are in the show. And then here, I'm sure if you guys have seen it before, or at least seen the opening of Family Guy, you know what this room
All
looks like.
right, all
On the
right.
walls, like pinkish couches. The radio, they have like the family portraits above, which those are very similar in shape. Not quite the same like subject matter, but it's close enough. And same thing with here. On the TV show, the couches are more of like a purplish pink color, I think, if I remember correctly. But I don't know. I think these ones just kind of suited the build, and they also have a rug that's very similar to that. It's like purple with like orangish yellowy rings on it. And then from here, just kind of fitting in different things to kind of make it look as close to the show as possible. And the cool thing is I think this house actually works pretty well as far as like a playable Sims house goes. Like it doesn't look too cartoony in my opinion. It still looks, decently like realistic. And it shouldn't be that hard to kind of like fit in your game if you guys just want to like play in this house.
So let's take a small look at the living room. Now, this staircase, come on now. The staircase was a little bit more, there was a little bit more meat on the bones with the staircase. I feel like this room is just a little bit too small. But overall, it does remind me of Family Guy. He's
From
got
here,
it.
just kind of
Let's see if he fixes it, opens it up. I don't know. Maybe he might just leave it. I don't know. I think if you open up the stairs, that might mess up the entire structure of the house. I don't know. But it looks he's doing pretty well. I'm not gonna lie.
in my opinion, it still looks, decently like realistic. And it shouldn't be that hard to kind of like fit in your game if you guys just want to like play in this house just to have. The kitchen was a little bit more complicated for the same reasons, where it's like on the TV show it's huge, but in the game it's not quite the same. So definitely did a lot more like creative things with this. One of the big things on the TV show is they have a like breakfast area, I guess, like a dining table and chairs in the middle of the kitchen. And with the spacing on how everything is set right now, that literally just would not fit. Like that wouldn't fly.
I don't know about him, but if I was actually building this house, I would make space for everything. Like we're gonna do every single thing that's in the Family Guy house. We're putting in the Family Guy Sims 4 mansion. Okay, like I'm not cutting corners anywhere. So you know what? I'm kind of mad at him about that. You got to put everything in there. You can't
Which you'll see
skip
coming up pretty
anything,
shortly.
bro.
And your Sims would actually just walk right through them. Like there's not actually like a option to sit in them or to use them. So it was nice because I was able to just kind of like tuck those in under the table so it looks like there's a usable table, but in reality they'll just walk around it. But we're fitting in all like the appliances and everything right now, and there's a table, and then from there I just jumped to the dining room because like I was like might as well kill two birds with one stone if we're already in that category. And this one again is it's a room that's not really shown that much in the TV show. So I just found a couple pictures, and it changes from season to season. So I just put the green walls, the green carpet in, and then just threw around some things I thought would be nice to have.
That's false. They actually do show the dining room a bunch in Family Guy. They have dinners here where people come over, different things happen. Like there's a bunch of different scenes of this exact room. Like I know that for sure. Like I'm just picturing a couple of scenes in my mind. I'm like, I remember seeing this dining room all the time. It kind of looks like this, like he's nailing it, but like, they showed it all the
Kind of
time.
like this little hutch area, some paintings, probably some plants in there. And then this room is like used a couple times in the first couple seasons, if I remember correctly, and it was like this piano secondary living room, music room type thing. So I was able to just kind of have like fun with it and throw in whatever I wanted. So I built this little like entertainment stand, I guess. Threw a TV on there, threw a couch in there, and threw a piano in there. Um, I think the piano they have in the show is more of like an upright, like formal piano, but we don't have that in the game. The closest thing we have is either a grand piano, which is way too big for this space, or that little keyboard, which I think works pretty well. And then if you're going to be using this as like an actual house to play with in your game, I figured might as well throw some skill building things in there too. So we threw a nice little chess table in there, and then again, just kind of throw in some artwork on the walls and some decorations here and there just to kind of make it a little more full. And this room was kind of fun. This is the garage. And
He's doing a
sure,
really
as you
good
all know,
job. I gotta
in
say,
Sims
like
4 we do not have cars. So don't really need a garage at all, but it's part of the build, so I threw it in there. But I feel like garages are like a nice thing to have to add a bit of realism to your homes, but at the same time give you like a place to just store a bunch of like maybe miscellaneous things or skill building items that might not fit as well in like a regular room or something. So we have like that pumpkin cart.
In your gym, you could also put like workout stuff. It could be, I don't know, you could put an extra bed in there. Look, I try to put a fridge in there, make it look like an actual, like a garage. Like, I just had fun with it. I don't know. Let me know what you guys put in your garages in The Sims 4. Let me know in the comments.
Working station, and I threw like the bicycle and like the holiday decoration box in there too because I thought they fit in pretty well. And then here is like that outdoor area that we built a while back. And in here, I just threw in some like patio furniture or something that your Sims could just kind of hang out with. Threw a cooler in there too. So if they wanted to get like some snacks or anything, it's right there. And just some like fairy lights on the walls. And here is one of the bathrooms. Yeah, just a very simple color scheme. Yellow walls, pink tiles. Try to keep that like theme going up in the shower as well. You can kind of see it has like the same pink as on the floor. Pretty basic room, but it has everything that you need in there. And even though it is upstairs, it's kind of nice because it's by all the bedrooms. And this would
Oh my
be
God,
Stewie's bedroom.
Stewie's room.
Um, you could probably convert this into like a kid's bedroom later on. It is kind of small and kind of tight, so you're probably going to be losing a little bit of space. But where that bookshelf is, you could probably build a wall there and just section that off. And then that's 3 tiles like deep,
I
so you
like
should be
it,
able
but
to
I
fit
don't
like a
know if
Stewie.
that's the actual like. I don't know if that's the actual dimensions of Stewie's room. If Stewie's room is that cornered. Also, Stewie has like the secret room with all of his weapons. I don't know if you included that. You gotta if you're gonna include that, you gotta if you're gonna do a video like this, you gotta include everything. Okay, you cannot miss anything. There was also an episode where Peter went down into a secret lair that was like 40 stories under the house. So we gotta get that too. You know what I mean? Like we gotta get everything.
Standard single bed in there if you wanted to. But his room was pretty simple, just blue walls, pink carpet, and like some like little child toddler stuff. Um, couldn't have it as like complex as his real bedroom with like the hidden like weapons closet and whatnot. But again, toddlers
Come
don't
on,
understand
man.
The
That bed
Sims.
is way too
And this
nice.
would be the master bedroom.
That bed is way too nice. Peter Griffin was not on that bed. Come on now.
Peter and Lois's room.
Come on now.
Was actually kind of surprised with how much stuff I was able to fit in this room. This one is on the back of the house, so they have like that luxury of having like that massive dormer to live in instead of like the little tiny ones up front. But yeah, we fit a master bed in here, so you can sleep 2 Sims in there. And then here, I was just trying to fit in like a bunch of like decorations. In the show, they have a TV on the opposite side of their bed, so we just stuffed that in there. And then this one, I believe, is Meg's room, and she has like a vanity in there, which again is a nice thing to have.
I totally forgot
Pleasantly
about
surprised I was
Meg.
able
I
to fit
forgot
that in
about
there.
Chris.
I feel like her room and then the master bedroom, Peter and Lois's room, are probably the most like authentic and accurate to the TV show. I was able to fit a lot of stuff in hers, like having the vanity and whatnot in there, and then just little decorations that are shown in her bedroom on the show.
I don't
The
know,
like,
man. I don't listen, man. I don't know. I don't think that this. I don't think you got this one, bro.
I guess like way it's decorated isn't quite right because I think her vanity is supposed to be on the like foot of her bed, but I was able to fit it in there, so I'm not mad about it. Um, the nice thing about like this build is like I feel like it's very livable.
Let me tell you something. You know that the creator has given up on the room. Once they put this in there, once they put this picture right here of the plumb bob thing, once they put that picture in the room, that's how you know they gave up mentally. I'm telling you, it's happened to me 1,000 times, bro.
Like
Like
I feel
I'm
like
telling
you
you.
could download this house and like not really worry about things like getting in the way or your Sims having routing issues. Everything should be pretty easy to use. Speaking of that, this is Chris's room. Now, when I first built this, I just tried to fit everything that was like featured on the TV show. Um, in this room to make it as like authentic and correct as
Those
possible.
corners, those
And then I
little,
tried player testing it, and then I
I don't
found
know,
out that
bro.
his room was completely unusable. So you'll see in the screenshots, the room looks a little different. I had to rearrange a couple things. I think it was like that, like wardrobe that I put in on the opposite side of the bed. Like even though it looks pretty small, I think it takes up more space than it like looks like it would. So it caused issues with the Sims getting in and out of the bed. Like they couldn't even like walk up to the bed. Like they would just walk into the room and then like couldn't go anywhere. So that room changes a little bit, but again, when you're
Oh
trying to fit
boy.
all that stuff,
Listen, man, I was with you. I was with you with the outside, and then the first floor, I was with you. But I feel like the entire upstairs is botched, bro. Like that is not the Family Guy I watched when I was 2 years old, okay?
in a tiny room, you can
I
only
don't
can do
know.
so much.
Let me know in the comments
And
if
this is the
I'm bugging
basement.
right now.
I just tried fitting in like again some more like gameplay items like the washer and dryer, and then on the left you can see there's another bathroom. It's basically the exact same one as the one upstairs, just pink and yellow color scheme. And then I also fit a bar in here. In one of like the
See,
first couple seasons, there was like a episode where Peter ends up like running a bar downstairs, and Lois becomes like a singer. So I try to include like little like Easter eggs to
listen, let
like
me
the
say
episode that
this.
you watch.
If you're gonna actually include that bar when Lois was actually singing her heart out, you gotta make it like actually like 5 times this, like actually like 3 times this, and then have the piano in the corner, have the bar on the side, and then have the entire like place for the guests. Like I don't know, he had me in the first half, but
Watch
he
it at
lost
all.
me.
And that is one of them in here, having like that little bar area. I think we throw a microphone, yeah, right there. We throw our little microphone in there as well. So it's cool because you can build skills, but you can also kind of like replicate scenes from the show. And that pretty much wraps up this build. Right now we're just moving into the screenshots. I'm really impressed and pretty happy with how this house turned out. I think it's really authentic. I think it's really close to the TV show. This is a house I've built many times in many different Sims games since The Sims 2. So I've done it a few times, and this is probably the one I'm most proud of.
Honestly, you had me in the first half. You lost me on the second floor, bro. I don't know what happened. Those rooms, it just wasn't identical. If you guys want to see a video of one of my most favorite Sims 4 houses, click this video, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Peace.